I welcome you all with love. And peace be with you, which is a really important thing in this time and age, in our very chaotic society. So I'm going to start with a prayer about merging the heavens and earth, the heart and the mind, integration. Shimikud Krishabihu Ushihinte. Be ilu or imulaya, Shimikiduloke. Yidasum Shem Gabriel Kolon. Amen. One of my two enlightened spiritual teachers, Swami Prakashananda, gave me some key instructions on acknowledging me. And he said, which I totally agree, morals and ethics, they're just concepts. They're meaningless. And since we both understand they're unreal, please understand what I'm trying to say, which is if they aren't followed, everything breaks down. And if you, as you go off to be a spiritual teacher, don't follow them, it will create chaos. So there's really two messages here. Moral and ethics are just thought forms. They're really unnecessary. And then I'll go to John Adams, I think it was John Adams, who said a republic will only work if people, in essence, I'll use my terms, are spiritually mature. Otherwise, it's not going to work. Interesting kind of statements. And so, as we look at things today, we have a sort of chaos because people aren't naturally awake. And the result is a pretty active breakdown of the society, which is exactly what Swami Prakashananda said, and really what we've seen throughout the ages. So that brings us to something that people usually don't like to talk about. We call it the Yama Niyamas. We talk of the 10 speakings. We talk about the Buddhist Eightfold Path. Why is it that those were given to people when we know they're just concepts? Well, it's because people aren't at that level of evolvement, except for a few people, thank goodness, where we don't need them. And so here we are looking at the chaos in this society, and we can just look at what we call asitya, don't steal, and satya, tell the truth. We don't have to go too far. Ahimsa, don't do any harm, and these are pretty basic stuff. But we can't seem to follow it. And because we can't follow it, there is serious harm and chaos in society. Now, whatever God does is for the best, so I know this is all taking us to a good place. And that's a nice statement. But in the meantime, where are people evolving from this? And we kind of look at what the great Vedic teachers have said. You have to have your basic character qualities. I'm not going to go through all of that because it's like a whole other talk before we can evolve spiritually. And so we're not even at that level in our society. So let's take a look at what happens with all the lying that's going on. And what that does is it breaks down relationship, the ability to be intimate, the ability to be sincere, the ability to communicate. And if we go a little deeper, lying is stealing of the mind. So when you lie to somebody, you're actually stealing their mind. Very subtly, but you're stealing their mind. So we go from lying then to stealing, and then if we go a little further, depending how you're lying and so forth, you're actually killing their soul. Well, this is like what we're really seeing playing out right in front of us. This is like a cosmic lesson in people's full attention. I mean, it's wonderful if we see it as a lesson. It's like, this is what happens. You're going to lie, you're going to steal, you're not going to honor people, so you're going to murder their soul, and we get chaos. Now, the solution is really simple. Don't do that. Now, why? If it were so simple, so why isn't it happening? Right? Why aren't people going there? Well, maybe they will because they're seeing the outcome. When we look a little deeper, why is it people can't follow these simple things? You know, be in truth. How hard is that? It's very hard. You know, don't steal. Don't steal people's minds. Don't lie. It's very hard. So what's hard is that our ego puts us in a place where we need to support our ego by lying to somebody, by stealing the mind, by taking advantage so we can be one up, or whatever our reason. So that comes down to really an uncontrolled ego. Now we need an ego. Ego, the way I'm talking about it, is your physical body, your mental body, your spiritual body. That's all part of an ego. We call it in the Eastern system ahamkara. It's your boundaries with the nothing, so to speak. You need a boundary. So egos are not bad per se, but ego, the way we're talking about it, is actually where we're not in equality consciousness, we're not in peaceful consciousness, we're in agraha, which is covenant consciousness. We're wanting to take what isn't ours. We're wanting to be one up when it's not ours to be there. And it goes on and on. So the real issue is, how do we move away from egoic behavior that points us in the direction of stealing the mind, of lying, stealing the mind, and of murdering people's souls. Now, how do we do that? What's that about? And it raises the question is, how do we return to the character qualities that allow us then to evolve spiritually, which is what we need. And so, number one is what we call mumukshutva, the desire for God. If we don't have a desire for God, we don't really have a motivation to elevate ourselves. It's one of the four qualities that the great Vedic sages talk about. It's like desire for God. So that's part of what really needs to start to come back into our society, is motivation to wake up. Now the thing about waking up is it's actually really pleasant. It's actually a turn on. And people are so busy trying to get ego gratifications, we miss the point. And what's the point? The point is that light of the divine within us is so luscious and so good. It's like, wow. But if we're trying to steal from other people or lie and do the different things, we don't go inside where the real juice is. So part of the shift that needs to happen is people having that desire for God, and then we call vairagya, seeing God in each person equally. Imagine if what this scene were going on and people treated each other with respect and they could actually talk and see what's going on. Imagine how different that would be. And then, seeing the bigger picture, we call viveka, the cosmic reality versus the temporal reality. What if we had that perspective? That would just change everything. So, what's needed here for our society is a change in perspective. It's a change where we go back to what is the purpose of life, which is, from my point of view, is to wake up. To wake up spiritually. To know the divine essence of who we are and to go beyond merging with the one. To get there, though, we have to actually say that's what we want. We have to have an intention. We have to have a direction. Once that direction is there, and we know that the divine is the center, and not our politics or power or ego, we go from ego to the divine, it all takes shape in a way, then ego isn't running the show. Our desire for the divine is running the show. They actually have a word for it, mumukshukva, okay? Desire for the divine. Okay. When that's in place, then it's so much easier to be able to follow what we call the yama niyamas, the 10 speakings, the Buddhist Eightfold Path, because we're motivated to build a foundation because it's so good. And I don't want to be materialistic about ananda, about bliss, but when people start to touch into it, they get a lot more motivated to want to live that way. So may everyone be blessed that we put God at the center of our life, and in that process begin to experience the bliss of the divine which resides within us, and allow that to be the great motivation for us to go deeper and deeper into the truth of who we are. Blessings to everyone. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Takilasana.